You guys could have chosen any type of ministry, and you could have chose any genre, but you chose to go into the hardcore Christian scene where you knew people be throwing down walls of death, all kinds of craziness. Like, how is that? How would you defend that as Christ-like or okay for Christians to do?
Yeah, well, we've got to understand a couple things. I think if we're speaking purely theologically, you can't make an argument from silence. If the Bible doesn't talk about something, that itself is not an argument to say, Jesus didn't come out and say, hey, I'm cool with moshing, and so therefore Jesus isn't cool with moshing. That's a huge leap, and that's not a conclusion that you really can draw. But I think just to put it in a right context, I didn't view my place in the band as some sort of sacred, holy, ministry that I would want to train other people up in and launch them into. It was my job, I mean, certainly Jesus doesn't explicitly say that he loves moshing, but he doesn't say that he loves accounting or real estate either. And I think we've got kingdom-minded accountants and realtors and surgeons and lawyers as well. And so for me, that was just my job. I had a skill set and an opportunity that sort of came together, and I was able to support myself and my family doing it, and also to point people toward Jesus. And so for me, I would just go to work. My job happened to be performing music, writing and recording and performing music. And so I would just go into work every day determined to point people to Jesus while I was there. It's my work may have looked different than somebody else's work, but it was just my work. And so I think when we get into the weeds of like, was it glorifying to God? I think it's inanimate. It's just the work that I would do, and it's the job that I had. It's how I took care of my family. I think working to take care of your family is certainly a biblical and holy thing. And I thank God that I had a skill set that was able to provide for my family in that way. Just like a realtor or a graphic designer or, a surgeon or whatever else. So a podcaster. And I think that whatever, the lesson that I took away from it was a broader one than just like God loves hardcore music. I think that God is interested in whatever he can use for his glory. And so I'm thankful that God was able to be glorified and that people were able to hear the gospel because of the kind of music that we played, the kind of venues and environments that we went into. And I recognize that those people aren't listening to Christian realtors or accountants. They're listening to vocalists and hardcore bands. And so I'm thankful that God gave me their attention for a season, and it was a beautiful season. But I don't want to be an apologist for, hardcore subculture ministry. That's, or for tattoos or for moshing. Those aren't hills that I'm willing to die on. I'll stand for Jesus in whatever context I can. I think Jesus deserves to be the center of attention in every situation and circumstance, whether it's in a church building or a nightclub during a hardcore concert. And I'm deeply convicted about that, but I don't want to be the reason that somebody decides that hardcore music is cool. I want to be the reason someone decides Jesus is cool. And so that's, I think, the argument that I'd be willing to make and the stand I'd be willing to take is just that I think Jesus deserves to be talked about. And if somebody doesn't like hardcore music, well, then that's great. I'm sure God will give you other opportunities outside of that sphere to bring the gospel in your workplace.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because for me, I remember episode 3 talking to Candace Payne, and I was talking about music that we will have in heaven. And she was very about the fact that she was like, there will be mosh pits in heaven. We will have like screaming, like hardcore music in heaven. So I'm like imagining the day where you have For Today followed by a Chris Tomlin song, followed by a Lecrae song, and just like all of that in heaven, all types of people, maybe a little Kanye West too, when we're in heaven one day.
Hey y'all, we hope you loved this conversation. Here at Young Married Christian, we are on a mission to see a gospel-centered home made available for every single child in the foster care system. There are 400,000 kids in the foster care system, and there are 400,000 churches in America. Wow. That is crazy. This is absolutely a solvable problem, and we want to be a part of it. If you want to join us in that mission, text the word freedom to 833-370-1610.
833-370-1610. 833-370-1610.
I just did it.
And another thing you can do that is really helpful is to smash the like button on this video.
Smash it like Satan's face. Crush it like it's Lucifer's head.
It really helps us a ton, so smash that like button, subscribe to this channel.
That's it.
Smash the like button on this video.